Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Pantheon game. Let's get this show on the road. Which one? And I also want to use this video to talk about a whole different topic because this meta is weird. So, we've all seen the really weird stuff that's been cropping out. You know, Talia jungle, although I think that's getting buried. Mid lane Master Yi with Smite, and a Taric that's like quote unquote roaming. And a Karth is mid lane with a new homemade teammate too, doing the same thing as a Master Yi Taric would do. And we'll probably see some other things pop up, but those things can be, you know, beaten by just banning a few of those champions. But, you know, certain things allow them to creep through, and a lot of shenanigans pop up. We've seen bottom lane basically be dominated by a bruiser support or double bruiser or Yasuo. It's an interesting meta. One that I don't particularly like in some aspects because the whole mid lane jungle or mid lane Master Yi thing is just not something I hope becomes popular or stays a thing. But everything else is pretty interesting. Another video I'll probably upload at some point is where my team fights against a team that has no AD carry. Because, you know, who needs marksman nowadays, right? But I do gotta say, you know, the new jungle, it's finally hitting me. So I mentioned how there is a limit in which tanks you can actually take into the jungle because they're non-interactive and they don't actually deal well with other junglers. Where pure farmer champions are kind of gone unless they can actually do something with the enemy jungler, you know, fight them. Like Tryndamere and Shyvana could fight certain matchups so they can exist in some way, and I guess Udyr too. And that, you know, the jungle pool is a little bit more limited, right? And that your beginning phases is sort of rather linear. However, due to the fact that the enemy jungler or both junglers have to constantly interact with each other or one will gain a significant advantage, it's fun. The new jungle, I just gotta say, it's pretty fun. It wasn't fun initially because the Skirmish was way too valuable, and eventually they brought that thing down. But after that, the new jungle is great. I have to admit it, as an old school jungler who's been through a lot of jungles, and, you know, initially this one was giving me the heebie-jeebies, I actually do like it. Now, the jungler is either forced to constantly gank somebody and gain farm that way or gold that way, or go and control the scuttle and go for the map control and, you know, seek jungle duels. And that's great enough, but both of those cases force the junglers to interact with each other, either as you're counter ganking the dude, or, you know, they're trying to get for the scuttles and you control that map and you're always there for fights. It's, like I said, a little bit linear in the way that it kind of tells you where you need to go, but how you approach it depends on which champion you have. If you're a fast jungler, you want to try to be there to kill it before the enemy jungler gets there and spanks you. If you're a ganker, you want to prepare to ambush the opponent in his weakest spot, so then you just destroy them then and there. So the approach is a little bit different, right? But that alone makes it more fun because you know there's going to be a fight. And if they leave you alone, if they just let you control the scuttle crabs or they let you control the map, then you're going to get so strong, you're kind of just a whole nother champion now. There's one game I also have that I'll upload at another point where I'm picking Graves and the enemy jungler had absolutely no control of the map. And I didn't really gank that much. I was mostly counter ganking or, you know, just shooting people away and, you know, that kind of stuff. But because of the immense map control I had, Owl was an incredible carry. Owl was way more farmed than anyone else on my team, bar, I think, one more teammate. And the enemy jungler was non-existent. They got punished for being inactive. Even though they tried going for ganks, they didn't do enough, or they didn't do enough control or achieve anything or keep me in mind, to the point where they just kind of stopped existing. And I like that. You know, the least active or the least knowledgeable or whatever you want to put it, jungle players are going to be brought down, while the players who are more adaptable and know better and just can read the map and read matchups better are going to flourish, or are flourishing. And I like that. I like that quite a bit. So if anything, this new jungle gets my endorsement, and I might as well have said it a while ago, because throughout the few videos I uploaded with this new jungle, you could have seen, you know, I was enjoying it a bit more and a bit more. And now it just kind of hit me, you know, as stressful as it might be, it's fun. It's actually pretty fun to play it. Holy crap, do you get really miserable if you fall behind, for sure, though, and it can stress you out when your teammates don't actually help you. But then I rationalized that, you know, this kind of happened in all jungles either way, so what am I bitching about? Now, As far as the lower rate of uploads this and last month went, I for 1 week I had a really tough issue at work because of everyone seemed to take vacations at the same time. So I was working a lot of hours and was really tired when I came home. So just kind of took a slow things down, right? Then the next week, season's changing, and just if a lot of you don't know, I am an asthmatic. I'm an asthmatic, so when and I'm the type that gets really sick when seasons change, so it's just completely sick while also getting tired from work. So I decided to take 2 weeks off, and the third week I just had to go to the doctor and stuff. I'm not dying. I'm not getting, extremely deadly sick. It's just they had to recheck my levels and everything and decide what to do with me, and they changed how I use my medicine, and I'm all spiffy and dandy again. So I'll start making the return to regular uploads and streaming once again. Once everything stabilizes 100%, I'm gonna say that right now it's a 90 to 95%, and then the last 10% we'll be getting there. I'm not wheezing for breath. I'm not feeling really sick anymore. Yeah, the changes the doctors made are pretty good. Now, anyways, just like changes coming to things, doing good things, the new jungle is fun. My champion pool is pretty small. So you might see a lot, I mean, it's pretty small with this new jungle, so is a lot of people's. So you might see a lot of repeat junglers. I'm right now sort of busting out 5 junglers in usually. It's Xin Zhao and Graves, which are pretty strong right now. Xin Zhao, Graves, Pantheon, as you see here, because he's pretty good here. He still can't clear for anything, but the fact that he can bully out the enemy jungler and just beat the shit out of them, and then focus on the Scuttle Crab, because a lot of stuff is on that Scuttle Crab, and it helps boost his lower levels up to the point where he can finally actually start clearing. He's made quite the comeback. So those are 3 champions I play alongside Nunu, because it's a Nunu and he just kind of is great at most jungle metas, and the occasional Nocturne Mundo, of course. But either way, it's fun, and I recommend you guys don't give up on the jungle up until hopefully they fix the whole mid lane shenanigans. Because if that thing becomes a dominant thing, then that kind of might really hurt the jungle. But up until that point, I love this jungle, and it might be one of the better seasons now because of it. So hooray, Riot hit I guess a almost home run with this. There's still some changes that can be made, but I'm enjoying it so far. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.